Greetings, humans. Welcome back to Sci-Fi Punks, where we like to talk all things sci-fi, movies, comics, video games, novels. If it's sci-fi, I like to talk about it. And today I want to do another book review. I want to review this bad boy right here. Consider Phlebas by Ian M. Banks. First published in the late 80s. It was the start of the Culture series, a series of novels. I'm not sure how many there are now, but there's a bunch, and I've only ever read this first one. I just read this novel, people have been recommending the Culture series to me as a science fiction fan. I love reading sci-fi, but I haven't touched this series yet, and people keep recommending it to me. So I decided to start with book one. Apparently you don't have to start with book one, but I thought I would. I saw this in a used bookstore and thought I'd dive right in. Maybe that was a mistake, actually, because I did not like this book very much at all, unfortunately. Apparently, the sequel, it's called The Player of Games, is where the series really hits its stride. But here in the first book, no, sir, I don't have much good to say about this novel at all. But I did read it, so I thought I would review it. Basically, you have an intergalactic civilization, and you have this thing called the Culture. It's the civilization of machines that's slowly taking over the whole galaxy. Some species resist the Culture, and some assimilate with them. And the story is just basically about one of our characters who hates the Culture and is resisting the Culture, and he joins forces with a bunch of pirates to capture a Culture mind. It's like this brain, and I guess if they capture this Culture brain, they can find more out about the Culture. They can interrogate it or something like that. So it's a MacGuffin story. So he recruits a team of pirates, and they go on this wacky adventure to go and find this Culture mind. That's basically the whole story. It's just basically set piece connected to set piece connected to set piece. There's not actually a lot of plotting that goes on here, not a lot of character development. It's mostly just action, honestly. I actually don't think I've read any novel that's been so action-packed. This book is just constant, gigantic action set pieces that would make an Avengers film look tame. Like, it's crazy. Some of the action in this book, the action is written very well, but there is so much of this just off-the-wall action that is constantly going on. I couldn't believe how long some of these action scenes went on for. And, for somebody like me, if you were to tell me that, I would think, oh, that sounds like a lot of fun. That sounds like a fun book. First of all, I'm not sure action works that well in novels, period, much of the time. It's very rare when I read action and really like it. I prefer action to be in comic books and in movies. I like books for story and plot, so I don't really go to the genre of science fiction in its written form for action. But that's all this book is really going to give you, is just, there's not a lot of world building. The world building you do get is very, very small. I mean, the book is long. The book is a long book, and I still don't know much about this world, this universe that these characters are living in. I never expected to be so bored by a book so action-packed before. So, I don't know. There's not really much else to say about it. Like, the main character, he's not a likable guy. He's kind of a bastard. And I'm not even sure where his character goes by the end. He starts off hating the Culture, but then he realizes that the aliens that he's aligned himself with are actually pretty shitty, and he starts to I think he starts to see that the Culture isn't so bad, maybe, but then the character dies anyway by the end of the story, and I'm pretty sure he's not in any of the more of the novels, so I'm not really sure what you even are supposed to get out of this book, honestly. I was annoyed. I was happy to be finished this book, and it took me a while to get through because it's fucking long. It's one of those science fiction novels that just way overstays its welcome. So, I was disappointed with this affair. I don't think the writing's bad. Ian M. Banks definitely, I'm sure his writing got a lot better as time went on. And here it's not so bad either. His writing's good. It's just kind of what you're getting. The story he's telling is just, I don't know, it's just not very interesting. I'm not sure why he just wanted to tell this crazy high-octane adventure story. I'm surprised he didn't have more to say. I'm surprised there wasn't more world building. And the world building that you get is okay, but it's nothing mind-blowing, It's another intergalactic civilization with aliens on different planets and stuff like that. The Culture in this story seems to be this unstoppable empire that honestly has an altruistic goal. Like it wants what's best for the galaxy. It really does care about its citizens, but it won't let anybody stop it in its goal of taking over the galaxy. So that's kind of where the tension comes from in this story. But beyond that, like, yeah, I don't know. I just don't have much to say about this novel. I was disappointed. I am looking for. People have been saying, though, it seems like I'm not alone in this opinion. A lot of people online I've read and a lot of people I've spoken to in the real world have said, ignore this novel. You didn't even really need to read it. Just continue on with the series and see where it goes after that, because it does get really good. So, you know what? I'll believe him. I will continue with this series. I want to read Player of Games and see what's up, because Ian M. Banks is considered one of the heavy hitters of the genre, so I should see what he's about. Anyways, that was my review of Consider Phlebas. All hail Megatron.